G'day everybody, welcome back to our playthrough of Starfield, where we have docked with the UC Vigilance. We've sort of taken a look at the brig and had a chat with one of the Crimson Fleet traders that we arrested maybe a few episodes ago. Didn't really get too much information out of him, but we are now here in the, I guess, operations room, because we do need to see Lieutenant Holt about what we've discovered about Crix's legacy and the plans that the pirates have for it. So let's see what she says.
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find.
I have evidence for you.
Well done. Let's see what you found.
Picked this up from the Lock Penitentiary on Suvorov.
It's amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Crix's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Crix picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Find anything else?
That's all I have for now.
All right. Keep up the good work.
Okay, that wasn't too much, was it? Will I have access to SysDef resources while I'm undercover?
We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works.
Okay, what background information can you give me on the fleet?
They're pirates in every sense of the word, but they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous, but hopefully it makes them a little more predictable too. We'll be here if you need us.
Okay, cool.
You have
And
permission to speak freely.
does the commander have anything else to say to us?
Doc, anything to report?
What's the primary directive of SysDef?
Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. You have your orders.
Okay, cool. Well, I was expecting a little bit more from this interaction with SysDef, but apparently not. What's going on in here? Okay, SysDef crew uniform. I'll take that. Might be interesting. And I guess this doesn't really amount to doing anything illegal, so let's take a look at messages on this thing. Pirate operations. Reports of pirate activity continue to plague the settled systems. While the mission boards supply us with intel, the fleet often changes its targets to keep us guessing. According to Toft's reports, there are 3 types of operations the fleet uses to fill its coffers: piracy, smuggling, and theft. They have honed these operations under their current leadership, and we would do well to study their tactics so that we can better protect the settled systems. Okay. Crimson Fleet tactics. There is an old saying, to fight the enemy, one must know the enemy. The aphorism, while trite, still holds true today. Like many disorganized groups, the Crimson Fleet uses guerrilla tactics. They utilize the element of surprise to their advantage, grav jumping and quickly striking their targets before fleeing the scene. These are not revelatory tactics. However, history, ambush, deception, sabotage, and espionage have been the tools smaller groups employ to outmaneuver larger naval forces. SysDef was formed in order to fight this foe in a non-traditional sense. It is up to the leadership to find creative ways to do that without sacrificing the principles we hold dear. Okay, I guess that's where we come in. Personal documents. State of the Vigilance. After speaking with Commander Natara, Lieutenant Toft has assured me that Project Svalin has been fully tested by the engineers at SY920 and approved by MAST. If everything goes according to plan, we will begin implementation immediately. When the time comes, this upgrade will be essential for what we've planned. Okay. The Crimson Fleet threat. It's no secret that we've had trouble explaining to the officials at MAST the urgency of the Crimson Fleet menace. Despite the fact that they are a disorganized band of pirates, they must be treated as a criminal organization that poses a threat to the safety of the settled systems. Unfortunately, without intel on the inner workings of the Crimson Fleet, much of this is speculation. We need someone on the inside to help us fill the blanks. This is why I've requested the records of every prisoner detained by the United Colonies. Surely there is a candidate among them who will suit our needs. Okay. That's interesting, but they've got us, right? So, and we weren't arrested, so this must be someone else. Maybe Mathis? Resolve and purpose. There are years where nothing happens, and years that can define a life. I was 16 when I first took to the skies, 17 when it came all came crashing down. It began with a ship. Earlier that year, my father had salvaged a wreck from the war, a B-class Deimos fighter from an abandoned star yard. It was old, outdated, and, to put bluntly, a piece of junk. The controls were shaky, the plating was rusted, and the engine coughed like it had a bad lung. But none of that mattered to me. I was hooked from the very first grav jump. You see, up until that point, I had often struggled to focus. Nothing I did had any long-term appeal. That all changed the moment I took that Deimos junker out to the space lanes. For the first time in my life, I could see a life for me beyond the present. This ship, for all its loose wires, dents, and pockmarks, gave me purpose. Something I could devote my life to. 3 months later, I was an escort for my father's freighter. 10 months later, we were attacked by Crimson Fleet. Most days, I think about my father, the kind, gentle man who raised me. I think about how much poorer this galaxy is without his laughter soaring through its membrane. And other times, my thought turns to his son, the boy with the star-bright eyes and the future he lost. When I am confronted by this boy, my resolve begins to wane. I want him to forgive me for the man I've become, one consumed by hate and vengeance. I stand wordless as he tugs at the corner of my jacket, tears flowing down his cheeks, begging me to let my anger go. And at that moment, every part of me wants to embrace him and tell him exactly what he needs to hear. I want to tell him I will drop this accursed chase and give his future the chance it deserves. But instead, I turn away. I leave him crying alone in the void of space. But what he does not realize is that I'm doing this for him. I fight the Crimson Fleet for all the fathers and futures lost to a world that never should have been. And when I think of them, my resolve returns, and I have purpose once more. Jeez, okay. I wonder if this is Commander Ikande's personal story, or is this Lieutenant Hoff? Yeah, it could be Lieutenant Hoff's terminal, but anyway. Criminal profiles, Adler Kemp. Yeah, I think we've seen these profiles before. Yeah. Alright. Let's not worry. Yeah, actually this is the commander's terminal. So there you go. A bit more on his upbringing there.
Maintenance crews are
Alright, so let's take a look at the missions. We do need to speak to Delgado. We better actually go and speak to him before he starts getting suspicious. So why don't we go back to our ship and we'll make our way. Righto, so I think we can probably fast travel from here, right? But we do need to undock the ship, I think, so just quickly do that.
All green on release.
Right, and let's tag that. And fast travel.
We're free to fly.
Now, the previous episode we did actually pick up a brand new ship as well, so I'm curious to actually play around with that ship and actually build from it or off of it at some point, but I won't really do that until we've spent a few more episodes playing around with our current ship. So let's dock with the key. So one thing that I'm really worried about with all of this undercover stuff going on is whether or not there's a point of no return, whether or not you side with the pirates or with SysDef. And I'm definitely leaning towards, siding with SysDef, although I want to be able to try and resolve things in a way where the pirates survive and still remain on the key, and then us sort of still being able to come here and be friends with the pirates, despite, what's happened. I need to go upstairs.
I'm only stationed on the key until the heat dies down. Then it's back to raiding and pillaging.
These guys love their raiding and pillaging. Well, I guess they're pirates after all. Alright. Well, let's hope for the best here.
There you are. The hell took you so long?
Nothing?
It's about time. I was about to fly down and loot your bodies.
Not now, neighbor. Well, you said you found something. Hand it over.
Cool. Yeah, and I think if we spoke to Delgado immediately, I think we wouldn't have had the option to go back to SysDef. Would a thank you be so difficult?
Oh, excuse me. Forgive my impertinence. What I meant to say was, give me whatever you found right now before I blow your goddamn head off. Please.
Just cut the crap and give them what you found.
Okay, here you go.
That's it? Just one slate? After losing so much of our crew, it better be a map with a big red X on it. Well, I'll be damned. Legacy wasn't referring to Crix's fortune. It's the name of an actual ship. A Galbank transport probably loaded with credits.
Never heard any stories about a Gal Bank ship going down. And even if it had happened, it would have been picked clean years ago.
No, neighbor. Think. If Galbank covered it up, and over time, the location was eventually forgotten, it wouldn't be on anyone's radar. Okay, this changes things. Now that we know what we are looking for, we have to narrow the search.
How do we know someone else hasn't already found the legacy?
Because they would be rolling in so much cash, there is no way they could keep it quiet. It's like hitting a jackpot. Not to mention, they'd need someone with Shinya skills to keep the crypto tracing on the currency clean. And as far as Galbank goes, I doubt they would bother. Their bean counters would be too busy weighing the loss versus recovery costs. Now, the legacy is out there, just waiting for us to find. I can feel it.
I wish Crix hadn't been so cryptic about everything.
I'm sure he did not have a choice. People would kill to get a crack at a score this big. I know I have. Let us start with what we know. It was a Galbank ship, which means the company is going to have records of where it went down. Neva, weren't you working on a deal with Rokov? Something about a big-wig charity event on one of Trident's Starliners?
Are you serious? I've been working on that gig for 3 months. That's my score.
Ay, Dios mío. Will you shut up about your score and think for a second? That Starliner has a Galbank VIP suite aboard, which means... Come on, Neva. This isn't hard.
Which means a Gal Bank exec will be aboard. We grab their credentials and get ourselves into the Gal Bank archives in New Atlantis. Holy shit, that might actually work. I'll send a message to Rokov right away.
Pack your bags, Rook. You're going on vacation. And since you've earned it, take this gun with you. Might come in handy when Rokov screws everything up as usual.
A keel hauler. Legendary pistol. Okay. We'll have to take a look at that. Who's Rokov?
Rokoff is... well, he's Rokoff. A real pain in the ass. He used to run with the fleet until we kicked him out. Lately, he has been using his long-hauling skills to captain a starliner for Trident. Gives us a contact within the company. He has been trying to get his foot back in the door with us for years. But I'm not ready to let him in just yet. Maybe you can use that to your advantage.
Okay. Maybe we might need to persuade him to do certain things. So what's in the Galbank archives?
It's not what you're thinking. It's more of an office than a bank vault. Once you're inside, you'll be able to gain access to one of their computers and find out more about the legacy.
Alright. Always wanted to take a deep space cruise.
Good, because that is exactly what you are going to be doing. Neighbor and I are too well known to walk around the Starliner without being recognized. If Trident Security spotted us, it'd be over. I need you to board that ship, make contact with Rokoff, and get me those credentials.
How do you expect me to leave things with Rokov?
You know what? I'm gonna leave that entirely up to you. If you think he's come through for us, you can promise him he'll get paid. But if he gets in your way, then you take him out.
I better be getting paid for this job.
Don't be stupid. You gotta look at the big picture. We do this right, and we are all getting paid for this job. Oh, before you leave, I wanted you to know that I took what you said about Mathis into consideration, and I've decided to let him join the fleet.
Okay. Why are you letting Mathis's future hinge on my opinion?
Because you're the one that finished the job. You followed orders, and you put your neck on the block to get that data to the key. As far as Mathis goes, I'm sure you had to drag him through the lock and prevent him from doing something as stupid.
Yes. We definitely did that. I don't care about Mathis. I care about making creds.
Fair enough. That's it then. Next stop for you is Rokoff Starliner, the Siren of the Stars. And remember, Rokoff does not need to know anything about Grixis' legacy. For now, it's just between us. Now get out of here.
Hey, Rook, before you head out, I need to have a word with you. Meet me at the last Nova after you wrap things up with Mathis.
If you have any last questions about the job, ask them now.
The Last Nova's a bar here in the key, right? So, okay, we might as well ask a few more questions to Delgado. I'm sure he's got a few more tidbits he can share with us.
Shouldn't you be packing for your trip? Hell of a job you did down there, Rook. Hell of a job.
Oh, cheers, mate. I thought we could ask him more questions, but apparently not. Right. So, I don't exactly want to rush into this next job, because I feel like we've been playing pirates for a while now. Several episodes, in fact. And, I feel like taking a break and doing other stuff. Let's take a look at our mission list here. Echoes of the Past, speak to Mathis. Oh, right. Okay, so Mathis, we can actually talk to, but then we also need to speak to Neva later on as well. Now, I'm not rushing into having a chat with these folks just yet because there was the request to find all of those interview slates with Jasper Cricks, right? So, okay. Doesn't seem to be here. Maybe it's in activities. Find information on the conditions in the lock. Talk with Barrett. Distress call. London landmark. Okay. I'm not sure what this one is exactly. Find information on the conditions in the lock. I don't know if the game will actually give us or point us in the right direction. It looks like it might be, so... Ah, yes, okay, this could be the interviews that have been requested by the warden on the vigilance. So, yeah, let's start grabbing these interviews right now.
Tell us about your arrest.
Oh, my arrest was spectacular. Definitely one for the record books. UC Security sent an armada after our little fleet of ships and picked us off one by one until the remainder of us made it to the wheel.
For a listener's benefit, that was the star station in orbit around Voli that you destroyed just before your arrest, correct?
You see, that's what they'd have you believe, but the truth is much less sinister. There was a firefight on the wheel when they tried to bring us in. We holed up, but UC Security unleashed hell. The damage they caused was catastrophic. We only surrendered so we wouldn't die when the station exploded.
Well, the UC says you set demolition charges to try and cover your tracks and make your escape.
That's their story. You'll have to go with your gut on what you think really happened. Anyway, they took us in and tossed us into the lock. That lovely resort they opened on Suvorov.
And you were imprisoned there for how long?
Well, it was supposed to be for life, Gale. But I ended up serving 2 years before I decided I'd had enough.
Is there any particular reason that you started the riots that eventually led to the worst prison break in United Colonies history?
Yes. I'm quite proud of that, actually. I honestly didn't think it would go as well as it did. As for the reason, well, it's simple. The UC were treating us like animals. The conditions in the lock were ridiculously bad and no one cared. That's why they stuck us on that ice ball in the first place. Out of sight, out of mind.
Your escape caused the deaths of many that were stationed at the lock. Some would brand that as a bit dismissive for what you're describing as a protest. If you were simply advocating for your fellow inmates, why didn't you just go through the proper channels?
And what the hell was I supposed to do? Send a strongly worded letter to my duly appointed representative? Wake up. The UC only responds to actions, not words. In my mind, there was no other choice. You know what? Let's move past my time at the lock so we can get to the point of this goddamned interview.
Okay. He was definitely hiding the fact that he had plans for the legacy and trying to find that cache. I mean, we're assuming that it's cache aboard the legacy, but it could be anything, right? Alright, so there's another one over that way, so why don't we try to make our way. And yeah, I'm going to see if we can just find all of the slates while we're here and while everything is still at peace on the key. For all I know, this entire place could be destroyed at some point, so gonna try and complete this mission when we can. Hang on, this is taking us back to the frontier. Why is that? Show Armin Petrosian the audio log. So I guess this is us needing to go back to the vigilance already. Okay, that's kind of strange. I thought we would be looking for all of the interviews. Right. Let me just spend a little bit of time here looking around, guys, because I do want those slates.
Never go down to that prison.
Sort of want to have a listen to all of them if we can. It'll be a good chance to just continue, you know, exploring the key.
But you can't kill the dead.
And I don't really know how many slates we're expecting to find.
The fleet is family. stealing from each other is just what you call a professional courtesy.
Yeah, fair enough. That's why no one seems to mind when we take stuff. I mean, it's all being left out in the open, so, you know, they're sort of asking for it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where we found the slates last time, but I'm sure we'll come across the slates again. So, let's continue looking around, and we can just waltz in
You
here.
want to stay under the radar? I've got just the thing.
Oh, okay. We've got Jasmine's computer. Let's actually have a read. No one seems to mind. Grease monkeys. Dell wanted to know if I needed a few extra grease monkeys to help maintain things around here. I told him any more would just get in my way. I don't mean to sound arrogant, and I know my bandwidth is thin, but no one else can do what I do. I don't trust a new mechanic to understand how we've kept this station together with vacuum tape and baling wire. There's just too much tribal knowledge. The same goes for ships. Okay. The Astrea. I knew what I was getting into when I joined the fleet, but it was always my skin on the line, so I could handle it. No biggie. This is different. Nev, she loves this. Being a pirate is her raison d'etre, I think that's how you pronounce that. So the best way I can keep her safe is by working on the ship. Every nut, bolt, and wire on the Astrea I've hooked up with these two hands, and as insurance I've put in something extra to keep her out of harm's way. Knowing all this helps calm the nerves a little bit, but not completely. Now I know why my mom gave me this toolbox the day I said goodbye. I want to ask her if the worrying's gotten easier, but I already know the answer. Okay. I'll take that. Yeah, and you know what? We haven't exactly been back to the lodge for a very long time as well, so might be time to go back to the lodge for a little bit. We might be able to sort a few bits and pieces out to just, you know, stash them into our safe.
Depends on how you want to die. Do you want your heart to stop from continuous voltage, or freak out and then stop?
Which one has freaked out?
Samina can do more than patch you up. She's got a drugs of every kind, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay, we're encumbered apparently. But that's not really too much of an issue in this situation. Public access computer. Here's another slate. Let's actually take a look at this.
Tell us about Jasper Crix's version of the Crimson Scar.
All I can tell you is that under my guidance, the Crimson Scar became more influential than every other syndicate combined. Here I was, 22 years old, and I had power, people that followed my orders, and an endless stream of credits. Gale, I have to tell you, I was having the time of my life.
So you'd consider extortion, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault, and murder to be positive life influences?
No. I'd consider them as just means to an end. Those so-called crimes were merely stepping stones until I had enough wealth to buy the Crimson Scar a few spacecraft.
Yes, let's talk about that. It appears you weren't satisfied with terrorizing New Atlantis alone.
Oh, I've never stopped reaching, Gale. The amount of money we were making in New Atlantis was decent, but the really big scores were in space, on the cargo ships. We're talking millions of credits, maybe more. Who the hell could count it all?
Most people assume this is when the UC decided to actively set up a task force to pursue the Crimson Scar.
That's correct. Those idiots in charge of the United Colonies were clearly embarrassed that they had allowed the Crimson Scar to make the jump into space. They sent ships after us. Lots of ships. I almost think that they enjoy starting wars.
Perhaps this was the first time you had finally reached too far.
You could say that. I count my time running the Crimson Scar as a learning experience. I wouldn't say I reached too far. I'd say I reached too fast. Didn't cover all my bases, made some stupid mistakes. One thing's for certain, though. When I was finally arrested and thrown into the lock, I had plenty to think about.
Cool. You know, I think the voice actor for Jasper Cricks, he's done like an incredible job on his character. Just saying. So far, I feel like out of all of the character voice lines that I've heard, I think his has been the best, even though he's not exactly present, you know. Oh, hang on, what's this? Pill bottles, okay. Have we taken a look at this before? Okay, Boggs rules for the Nova. Don't piss me off. Everyone drinks. Sober. Get out. Drink at your own risk. No killing unless they deserve it. You got a grudge? Spit it out. I'm a bartender. I don't read minds. No pissing on the walls. No hogging the ping pong table. And I pick the music. Okay. I guess Boggs the bartender? Message from Shinya Voss. Credits are the lifeblood of the fleet. Our entire operation would not exist if not for the blood, sweat, and bullets of the pirates doing the work, and the consolidation of their earnings here at the Key. So let me make myself clear. While we have facilities outside the Key, I expect any funds outside of the standard operational costs to be brought back to the Reckoner's core. We've had incidents where fleet members have taken over operations on various planets throughout the settled systems and skimmed a little too much off the top. Suffice to say, they paid a steep price for their lack of transparency. Make sure you do the same. Okay, cool. Repair your damn ship. It doesn't matter if you think your bird's clean. When you dock, check with Jazz and her team to do a full repair, and scan your ship for any dings or bugs. Security on this station isn't just about the swarm of patrols we got out there, or the 3 large batteries orbiting the Key. It's the little things, the details. We gotta make sure to mind them. Weight room etiquette. As a doctor on this ship, I just want to remind everyone of the weight room etiquette. 1. Wipe down your equipment. Bacteria grows in damp, warm areas. Wipe everything your skin touches. That includes the barbells and plates. Spotting. Let's try to avoid back injuries. If someone requests that you spot them, do it. Don't forget to ask how you want to be spotted. Some people like a little help lifting off. 3. Rotating in. If there's no free benches, it's always good to let others rotate in between your sets. Find someone your size so you don't have to change things up. Just remember to follow rule number 1. Okay, and the message board here. Oh god, there's a lot here. Delgado's still taking rooks on tour of that old prison. I wonder if there's still some good loot down there. I've got a cutter that'll split an iceberg, and I've been itching to use it. The depot price gouging. You want to pay the cost of grav jumping, not to mention creating a freaking paper trail of your purchases? Be my guest. I can just see the headline now. Fleet attack, several dead, sysdef matches murder weapon to a buyer at Neon Tactical. Don't be a dumbass. Merch here is clean, off the books. Got a problem with the prices? Bring it up with Delgado. Okay. Sysdef is a joke. This message board is supposed to be anonymous, but if I find out who made that stupid undercover joke, I swear to God I'll have Jazz strip your ship for parts. Mathis Castillo. Anyone meet that new rook Mathis? I'd stay the hell away from him. It's nothing personal. The man puts in the work. He's just a walking black cat. Every job I've ever done with the bloke ended up badly. I was there when he set up a chem deal in the same joint. A squad of off-duty sysdef agents decided to have breakfast. Street rats call him Hex. Look the word up. It don't mean good things. Again, this supports my theory that Mathis is also working for sysdef. And he's the other guy that we read about before. Sysdef is a joke. The worst part is They aren't even a funny one. When I see one of their ships on patrol, I don't even laugh. I just want to pat those fools on the head and say, they're just pathetic. Okay. Screw Sysdef. Sysdef killed my partner, his grav drive was toast, and so he gave himself up. But the sharks didn't care, they just cracked open his ship like they were mining asteroids. I don't care what anyone says, if you get one to surrender, don't show those assholes any mercy. They won't. So why should we? The depot price gouging. Is it me, or are the prices at the depot out of control? We all know how much Aludra loves creds, and there's no way the prices are this steep outside the key. Come on, they're plenty fun. What do you call a Sysdef officer who sleeps all day? Undercover. Alright. Cool. I feel like we've done a lot of reading this episode. A lot of reading and a lot of listening. But I kind of like the lore. So...
Weapons, ammo, mods, whatever you need.
Okay, so this will be stealing because this is part of the shop, I guess.
I hope you actually need components.
Going on here. Let's do a little bit of trading with the Trade Authority here.
What'll it be, friend? Buying, selling? The Trade Authority takes anything and everything.
What's with the suit?
Well, a well-kept appearance gives the impression of a respectable establishment. The more respectable the place, the more credits people are willing to pay.
Back off, I'm not your friend.
Oh, but the Crimson Fleet is. The Trade Authority values a good customer. Business on the Key is like no other. It's the sole reason I'm here. For the credits.
I figured the Key was for Crimson Fleet only.
There are a few who share that sentiment. You'd think a successful business relationship would change their minds, but a few will always see me as an outsider. Regardless, as long as the fleet has goods to push, the Trade Authority will always maintain a presence on the Key.
How did you end up working for the Trade Authority?
Let's just say I've done my fair share of questionable activities in the past. With the credits I amassed, I gave the Trade Authority a sizable donation in exchange for a clean slate and a stable job. So, here I am, at your service.
Do you ever consider joining the fleet?
I left a similar lifestyle behind when I joined the Trade Authority, and never looked back. A lot of the rooks here see freedom in lawlessness, but that's only if you don't get caught. True freedom is not having a bounty on your head, with every cop and mercenary out to get you.
Okay, let's talk business.
I'm sure we can work something out.
Right, so I'm really just trying to offload a few things. So we picked this up. Pacifier, I think we switched out to something else. Novolite we do still quite like. Get rid of that. So this is what we were given. And this is actually much better than what we currently have, I feel. That has a special weapon, so sorry, a special name, so I'm just trying to remember what the type of weapon that is exactly. Frenzy Explorers Calibrated Orion. That sounds pretty badass, but I'm gonna get rid of it, because I don't exactly need it. Here we go. It's a mag shot, right? So we can get rid of this mag shot, the standard one, and we'll start using the keel hauler instead. Yeah, and we've got another mag shot as well. I don't think I'll keep this. I'll get rid of that. Refined Eon, let's get rid of that. Rattler, yep, we'll get rid of that as well. Now we've got a little bit more space to work with. Combat knives, we don't need. Yeah, looking good. Let's take a look at other stuff here. I think we've got a lot of clothing that we picked up, and I just wanted to sort of take a look at what some of this stuff looks like. And yeah, okay, that I think I could get rid of. Urban Slackware, maybe we'll keep that. That kind of looks kind of nice. SysDef crew hat, maybe not. The crew uniform though, yes, maybe we'll keep that. Prison scrubs, yeah, cool. I'll keep that. Who knows? We might want to look like a prisoner every now and then. We'll store it in the ship though when we get the chance. Let's get rid of all of our mines here. Okay, and this guy's running out of creds as well, so just gotta be mindful of that. Okay, not bad, not bad. So we should be able to move around a little bit easier now.
Remember, all trades are restriction-free.
Okay, so still looking for more of those slates. Let's see if we can explore a little bit more. Nothing here.
Is something wrong? First time visiting the infirmary, huh? Let me give you a piece of advice. Try not to get into too many bar fights. I'm trying to save my dwindling supplies for sale and pirates coming in off of raids.
Are you a real doctor?
I've done my time, but thanks to a malpractice suit, I've officially dropped the doctor title. Don't let that worry you. I'm still just as good, if not better, than half the surgeons at the clinic.
You won't have to worry about me. I'm practically bulletproof.
That's what they all say, until they stumble in bleeding out on my floor. So here's what's what. You need medpacks, curatives, preventatives, I've got you covered. At least as long as my current supply holds out. You need enhancers, legal or illegal? I've got those too.
You sound like a well-rounded chem dealer.
A dealer with a full medical background. Thank you very much. Now, if you don't need anything else, I've got a particularly annoying supply issue to deal with.
Maybe I can help you with your supply issue.
Now, there's an offer I didn't expect. If you really want to help, I'm looking for someone who can handle themselves in a public setting. As in someone who knows how to get the job done without shooting up the place.
What about the medical supplies on the Regana? Oh, maybe I don't really want to go for the Regana because I did promise them that, you know, they're scot-free. I didn't say I'd do it for free.
Do you really think I'd be offering you a job without pay? This isn't my first rodeo. I politely requested a list of supplies from Gennady Aton at the clinic and was told the price of business has gone up. I think he's back on Aurora, and he's upcharging me to pay for it. And if there's one thing I'm not going to do is subsidize his habit. I want you to make sure he delivers my supplies for the price we agreed on, but without raising any alarms.
You get those supplies and no one will get hurt.
We'll see. Talk is one thing, actions are another.
Did Gennady give a reason for the price change?
A bullshit one, yeah. Gennady claims prices have gone up for the clinic as a whole, and that I'm not the only doc being hit. He says if I want cheaper goods, I'm going to have to find another supplier. He even gave me a list. But I'm not turning to some third-rate doc selling meds out of their space truck. Gennady and I had a deal, and I want him to honor it.
Gennady has an Aurora habit?
Oh yeah. The funny thing is, he's the poster boy for upstanding moral citizens. Top of the class at nursing school, did volunteer work in backwater settlements, a reputation you could eat your food off of. Nobody knows he did it all zoned out of his mind. Nobody except his old boss, me. He said he got clean when he joined the clinic, but now I wonder.
I bet being a medic on the Key keeps you pretty busy.
You'd think most of the injuries I treat are from run-ins with security or civilians taking a stand. But I'd say at least half are just life on the Key. Brawls, egos, and plain old stupidity. At least it keeps me busy.
Cool. Alright, well...
Take care of yourself.
Let's get going. Another side quest to get into. We'll look at that. Carry of the Cosmos. Have you seen that? First published in the year 2301, Carry of the Cosmos tells the story of Carrie, an overweight, lovable, unassuming young gal who unexpectedly gained cosmic powers and used them to defend the weak and underprivileged. The following is an excerpt from that work. I think we have actually seen that. Alright, just looking for those slates. It was so easy to run into those slates before, but now it's so difficult to find. So that's the last Nova. We do need to go there at some point. Self-service bounty clearance. Nice. Crimson Fleet mission boards. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any of the mission board listings because we are only here because we're
like the smell
undercover.
Of a dead shark.
Here we go.
Cook 'em with an energy.
Where did your stellar rise to infamy begin?
In the streets of New Atlantis. No parents, no godparents. Just a homeless punk kid robbing whoever he could for the credits.
Were these violent crimes? Murders?
I'm a bit offended you even asked that question, Gail. Sure, a few people here and there walked away with injuries, but I'm not some kind of butcher.
That doesn't sound as heartless as your reputation would imply.
Well, like I said, I was just a kid.
Were you ever caught by the authorities in New Atlantis?
Oh, dozens of times. I'd just give them a fake name, or they just slap me on the wrist and send me on my way. They obviously didn't think that I'd amount to anything and didn't want to waste their time with rehabilitation.
What changed that? Was it the robbery in 2218?
2218? Oh, yeah. The Galbank archives. Very good, Gail. I see you've done your research. That would be when I rounded up a few of my buddies and we knocked the place over. Made off with a ton of credits. My first big score.
Is that why the Crimson Scar decided to bring you into their ranks?
That's right. They brought me in, taught me the ropes, and I did crimes for them for 5 years, till I decided I wanted more. I got rid of their leader, put myself in his place, and started running the show. I've been the one in charge ever since.
Was it absolutely necessary to cut his throat and leave the body on a public street in the well?
On the street, reputation is everything. I wanted everyone in the city to know that Jasper Cricks was taking over. I think they got the message.
Damn.
Blast.
Pretty sinister. I'm sure that's not the last one. I have a feeling we probably came across one or two more. Let's just have another look around.
Bogged grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine.
We call UCC staff sharks, but to the fleet, they're just bait. Yeah?
Kinetics, electromags, energy weapons, nothing to substitute.
So there are these lifts we can take. Then perhaps maybe we might find one more somewhere here. I have a feeling might be hidden away. It appears like we can probably just sleep anywhere if we wanted to. If I'm not mistaken, some people get pretty annoyed at you for sleeping in their beds in some other games like
I got a sore hip.
Skyrim, I think. Maybe even Fallout. It's been a while since I played Skyrim or Fallout, so... Oh god, alright. That scared the crap out of me. Every single time. Those bloody heat leeches, man. Ah, here we go. Mira's demise. Okay, no, that's not exactly what we're looking for, but it is apparently evidence.
So wait, say that again. You think I'm who?
Stop playing games. We both know your real name is Lionel Soto, and you know why I'm here.
Who are you? Fleet? Ecliptic? An independent?
I've spent 2 long years and every credit I had looking for you, just so I could look you in the eye before I pulled the trigger.
Hey, what's with the gun? There must be some mistake. I honestly don't know who you are.
Of course you don't know who I am. You're never concerned with the death you leave in your wake, in your pursuit of greed. You killed my husband, you son of a bitch! And now I'm going to kill you!
Such a terrible shame. All that time and money she wasted. Ah, well. Better get rid of the body.
Bradley Jasso. Mira. Okay. And this is something that we need to return to Lieutenant Toft. Interesting. The voice sounds very familiar. It could potentially be Delgado, even. Maybe Delgado went by a different name before. Here we go, another slate. Deep Seeker Skip Pack. Skip Capacity Boost Pack. I'll take that. We might check it out.
Let me just ask you one final question before we wrap up.
Fine. Go ahead.
When is enough going to be enough? How many credits does Jasper Criggs need until he's satisfied?
I should have expected you to ask such a stupid question. How the hell could you ever understand? You with your fancy education and your sheltered upbringing and your cushy media job. Me, I came from nothing. Everything I own, I've literally drawn blood to gain.
There's no need to get personal. I'm simply trying to state the facts so that our listeners can make judgments of their own.
Lady, I got news for you. Half of your listeners think I'm a hero. The other half are scared out of their goddamn minds, and they should be.
Perhaps we should talk about something else.
No, that's it. We're done. Can you guys get her the hell out of here? Make sure she takes all this sound equipment with her.
Well, that's it then. Thank you for your...
Actually, before you go, Gail, there's one more thing I would like to say.
Yes, of course. What is it?
When you broadcast this interview on SSNN, I want you to remember that I'll be listening. If you edit even one word or manipulate my voice to change anything I've said, I will hunt you down and kill you. In front of everyone. Do you understand?
I understand. You have my word.
Okay. I wonder if this Gale person is still alive. And yeah, I mean, I'm wondering whether or not the interview was edited in any way. Alright, so I'm kind of happy that we looked for all of those interview slates, because we did find evidence in the process of looking around. I'm sort of looking for like various terminals and stuff like that as well, because we might find some information from terminals. Don't mind me, just walking into people's rooms. Nothing hidden away anywhere. Okay. Don't see anything in there. Maybe next room? Okay, nothing in here either.
Credits this time? I'm telling you, they're shorting us on these.
Stolen artwork. It's contraband. Okay, there are some beds that are owned. And so if we sleep on beds that are owned, we would essentially get into trouble. But I mean, this place is kind of lawless, so I'm not entirely sure what would happen. I can't be certain that this artwork is actually evidence or not, but you know what? What I might do is take that. You've picked up contraband item. These are illegal to have on your, on you or in your ship. Security ships orbiting major settlements will scan your ship for contraband and will not let you land until the scan is complete. You have a chance of smuggling contraband past them. If you fail, you could be arrested and have your contraband confiscated. Okay, cool. Didn't say anything about bringing it back to Lieutenant Hoft, so... and you know what, actually one thing that I'm not entirely sure of is whether or not I need to bring evidence in drips and drabs. But anyway, let's just grab the contraband, and we'll actually just drop this. Because, yeah. I don't want to be pulled over with that. Get arrested. Yeah. And I guess what I'm not entirely sure of is whether or not certain things only spawn after you hand in pieces of evidence. Or pale ale. So this one requires a key. Interesting. Very curious. Perhaps maybe we can find the key somewhere. Hey, nothing in there. And I wonder if these lifts just lead us up here and down to where that pirate accountant is. And that's about it. Yeah, let's go look around here to see if there's anything else that we can pick up.
So big, the Trackers Alliance had to beef up their servers.
Nope. Yeah, really hard to tell which computers you might be able to access, etc., etc. Probably not here. I'm trying to get into this room. Ah, There we go. Okay, nothing here. Anything upstairs? Okay, Delgado's here. Got an interview. I don't think he's gonna mind if we take it.
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
I know SysDef instructed you to draw this meeting out as long as possible. So let me sum this up. I intend to make sure that the Crimson Fleet becomes the United Colony's worst nightmare. And nothing, I mean nothing in this universe, will stop me from achieving that goal.
There are those that would disagree with you and claim this interview is grandstanding, or worse, a recruitment tool. After all, SSNN reaches every corner of the settled systems, and your aspirations could inspire the Directionalists to turn to the fleet.
You and the sheep that listen to your garbage can believe whatever the hell you want. If you were so worried about what I had to say, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be brought here.
Interesting. Again, it really reminds me of the plot of One Piece. Do we have any evidence sitting anywhere here? No? Okay, cool. Well, I think we've got a couple of things that we can do here. So we can take a couple of things back to the Vigilance right away. And then from there, we can also think about doing the secondary objective that we've picked up here about the medical supplies. And, you know, I don't mind doing that one, provided that we can complete that mission without having to, you know, resort to violence. Hopefully, anyway. But we'll see. That's going to have to be in the next episode, guys. So I think I'm going to be calling it here. We'll take a bit of a break. And when we come back, we'll see what happens when we turn in some more evidence. And I'm thinking we will take a break from the piracy stuff for a little bit and perhaps maybe enjoy doing a few other missions before coming back to it. So hope you guys don't mind with that. And hope you guys look forward to it. As usual, leave a like, a dislike, or a comment or two down below. Stay true. And I'll see you guys in the next one.